Welcome to FromRome.Info video here at Rome in the quarter of the city called San Lorenzo to give a report on the bizarre decree of Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte. As you might know, the Italian Prime Minister, whose real title is the President of the Council of Ministers, Giuseppe Conte, issued a decree on Saturday evening last regarding the coronavirus, restricting movement in certain provinces of Italy. He extended that some days later to all of Italy, and he placed extreme restrictions on the entire economy and social life. The decree is called Stay at Home, and it requires you to stay at home. In fact, you're allowed out only for things of necessity, such as going to the supermarket or getting cigarettes or buying a newspaper. Yesterday, however, the Viminale, that is the Ministry of the Interior, modified the decree and said you can go out for a walk to do some sport because that is also good for the health. You must stay at least 1 meter away from anyone else. But what some of the crazy decrees are that the banks are closed. Now, can you imagine closing the banks of a nation for a month? What's going to happen? The merchants cannot get money other than bills from the telling machines. They cannot get coins. It's almost impossible to get coins. You go to a bakery to buy something, and and all you have is a 5. You can't buy anything. They say, come back and pay me when you can. So how can you imagine the economy? The other crazy thing is only so many people are allowed inside supermarkets. Yeah, remember, he's closed all the restaurants, all the hotels, all the bed and breakfasts, all the bars, and any place that serves food. So if for food, you have to go to the supermarket. But at the supermarket, he imposed a law that only so many people can be inside at any moment. If you see in the rear there is a long line of people waiting to get in the supermarket. It's Saturday morning, and that line is going to get longer. If you look across the street, you can see a massive line of people waiting at this other supermarket, which is just across the street. I'm an anthropologist. The result is going to be a food riot, because you can't get everyone to buy food waiting just a few times of a day. There's a supermarket open 24 hours just a few streets away, and there's people waiting in line at 2 in the morning. It's absolutely bizarre. Giuseppe Conte is a lawyer. He was never elected to office. He was kind of like a compromise candidate to Salvini and the Democratic Party, his rivals. And the guy is a complete ignoramus. He knows nothing about how societies function, and he thinks he's just going to pass a law that will solve all the problems. The law is so crazy, however, it's a criminal law. So that means if you violate it, you can go to 3 months in jail or be fined €260. I can only go out and make videos because I run an electronic journal, and so as a journalist, I'm doing my work. But other people could be arrested on the spot. The forces of order who maintain public order don't seem to really be in agreement with this. The Carabinieri, who are under the Ministry of Defense, don't seem they want to enforce it at all. The state police are under the Ministry of the Interior, but there's so few of them, they can't possibly watch everything. So basically, when they come down the street, people walk into other streets not to be seen what they're doing. You can go out and walk your dog, and you can go for a walk for exercise and end up at a church that might be open. But still, the churches are not saying Mass, even though the Angelo Donatis, the acting vicar of Rome, said that priests could use their prudence to decide whether to have services or not. The Viminale, that is the Ministry of Interior, and their site, Governo.it, is giving an official interpretation saying no religious services inside Catholic churches. This is absolutely outrageous, because in Italy, there's a thing called the Lateran Pact, which gives the church immunity in our own properties from any regulations of Italian law. Matter of fact, pastors of churches in Italy don't even have to file income tax returns. They don't have to explain to the state where the money comes from or where it even goes. So they certainly have no authority of what goes on in the church. And many legal scholars have come out and pointed this out. But the Viminale is pushing all they can because the Vatican's giving them no pushback. Matter of fact, it turned out yesterday in the letter of Angelo Donatis explaining why he withdrew his decree, putting the whole city under interdict, that it was a decision that came from Pope Francis. And so you can see what will happen in a government when the church doesn't defend the rights. The laity just get massacred. So right now the clergy and the monks and the religious, they have the mass inside their little private oratories, but anyone else who's layperson is completely denied the sacraments, which is an absolute betrayal of the gospel and a betrayal of everything that Vatican II stood for. It shows you that the propaganda for Vatican II was just that. It was just to hoodwink us. They never really believed what they were saying. An extraordinary solar phenomenon occurred here on Wednesday morning, the day that Bugnolo was telling Donatis to shut all the churches down. Right over the Vatican at about 2 in the afternoon, what's called a coronal nimbus around the sun, which appears only in high humidity and lots of fog, an event extremely rare at 2 in the afternoon here in Rome. And it really shook a lot of the clergy and the people, the faithful, to see that this phenomena in the shape of a Eucharist was perhaps telling the Vatican that you cannot close the doors of the house of God. This has been a report from Rome.Info video here in the quarter of San Lorenzo, Rome, Italy, on the decree for Stay at Home by Giuseppe Conte. Thank you for watching my channel, and make sure to subscribe and share this video channel from Rome.Info video with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp, so I can get 1,000 subscribers and do live reports here from Rome on various topics, mostly religious, for the English-speaking world. Thank you so much, and God bless.